Turns out we don't really have privacy rights. Edward Snowden really made that clear to us. But now there's more information coming out about how law enforcement is using certain software and certain technology to collect as much data on us as possible, especially when it comes to our cars. So there is a way of actually collecting information on our license plates, and back in the day, there would be third parties, so private companies that would have cameras attached to their vehicles, and then they would just take pictures of every car that they came across. And then they would put all of those pictures into a huge database, and then they would sell that database to law enforcement. Well, now law enforcement wants to get rid of the third party. They feel like, well, we don't want to pay this third party for this information, so why don't we just put cameras on our vehicles and do the exact same thing? So now they're collecting as much information on license plates as possible with these license plate readers, and the ACLU is reporting on it, and they did this great report, great expose on what's going on, because keep in mind, there are very few federal laws that regulate something like this, and it's really based on the certain municipality when it comes to this. So for instance, in Texas, there are certain places in Texas where law enforcement can keep this information indefinitely. And by the way, there doesn't have to be any probable cause or anything like that. They just collect the information and they keep it as long as they want.
So let's think that through for a second. Now, Center for Investigative Reporting had done a great job of exposing this in California. Mm-hmm. Now it turns out it's in 38 states. That's what we're finding out because of the ACLU now, plus the District of Columbia. Now in the Texas case, as Anna points out, if they keep it indefinitely, if they suspect you of doing anything wrong, and that's being charitable. I mean, what if you piss off the local sheriff, right? Mm-hmm. They can go back to what you did today and be like, well, why were you in the parking lot of, Baby's Got Back, okay, or whatever it might be, right? So now they don't have all the license plate information of every single place we've been, but they're trying and they're working hard.
And
if you do searches, yeah, they come up with stuff and they say, oh, okay, here's your car, and it was here and here and here at different times.
It's so creepy. Now, there is a data broker known as TLO, and what they do is they collect this license plate information, and then they sell it to law enforcement for about $10 a pop. And, they are making a killing off this because, of course, law enforcement needs license plates when they want to track certain people, they want to figure out where they were. Is this alibi, credible? And this data company can obviously help them with that. And what's interesting is Ford wrote an article about it, and the writer for this article decided to track some of his family members with their permission, of course. And some of his family members didn't have any information. Others did have information. He could literally see pictures of where his family members were. There was like one picture of a family member's car at a hospital. Mm-hmm. Right? So then anyone can do that. If some random reporter for Forbes can do it, you can do it, I can do it, the American people can do it, of course law enforcement and the government can do it. That's a little bit of a problem.
So there's two different issues here. One is the government, which is the first story we told you about, 38 different states. The government is getting the license plates and can store it in some places forever until they get you on something, right? The second problem is the private companies that are still doing it.
Yep.
They do it for repo guys, they do it for a lot of different reasons to make a buck. Now, one of the things that they're now doing is selling it for $10. So you want to spy in on your husband? $10.
Yeah, that's
spy in on your wife, your girlfriend, whatever it might be, $10. You want to stalk a girl that you like? $10.
It's super creepy. And by the way, when it comes to cops, an 8-hour patrol shift can collect over 7,000 license plates.
They just keep collecting and collecting and collecting. If you don't get it by now, I'm not sure you're ever going to get it. Big Brother isn't coming. He's already here.